Welcome back to another episode of Valuable Coins, where we dive deep into the world of numismatics, uncovering the most valuable and unique coins in the market today. If you're a coin enthusiast, collector, or simply interested in the incredible value of rare coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we will explore two of the most fascinating and expensive United States coins currently circulating the auction market. First up, taking a closer look at a very unique piece, the 1998 Washington Quarter Dollar, featuring the large date and Denver mint mark, but in full damage condition. We'll discuss what that means, why such coins can still hold value, and what to expect if you're thinking about selling or buying a coin like this in today's auction market. Let's get started. The Washington Quarter, named after the first President of the United States, has been a mainstay of American currency for nearly a century. The 1998 quarter is a modern piece minted in Denver, as indicated by the D Mint mark, and is part of the copper-nickel-clad series used since 1965 in 1998. There were two main varieties for the date size, the large date and the small date. The large date features bigger and bolder numbers, especially noticeable in the 9 and 8 collectors. Often seek out these subtle variations because they add depth and interest to a collection. But what happens when a coin suffers significant damage? Full damage condition means the coin has extensive wear, scratches, dents, corrosion, or other surface issues that obscure details. In this state, even the finer elements of Washington's profile or the eagle on the reverse can be severely compromised. Such damage often results from harsh environmental exposure, improper handling, or accidents. It's important to note that while the coin's aesthetic appeal is diminished, it may still hold some value, especially for collectors interested in variety or history. The 1998 quarter is composed of copper and nickel-clad, not silver, despite some misconceptions. The D Mint mark indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's primary facilities. So what's the value of a 1998 large date Denver quarter in full damage condition? Generally, heavily damaged quarters like this carry minimal market value. You can expect them to sell for about $75,000, depending mostly on the buyer, often someone who wants it just for novelty, parts, or educational purposes. Professional grading services typically do not grade coins with severe damage, so auction values reflect the condition rather than rarity or mint quality, while most damaged coins aren't worth much. Exceptions exist when damage results in unique error coins or if the damage is associated with a notable historical event. However, for a standard 1998 quarter, damage severely reduces collectible and monetary value. If you own a damaged coin, it's usually best to keep it for sentimental reasons or recycle it for its metal value. Always handle coins with care, store them properly, and avoid exposure to harsh conditions to prevent damage. To conclude, the 1998 Washington quarter with large date and Denver Mint mark in full damage condition is mostly a piece with sentimental or educational value rather than monetary worth. If you're just starting out collecting, it's a reminder to care for your coins well. Next up, the 1974 Washington Quarter Dollar, featuring the large date variety and no mint mark, in very fine condition. We'll explore what makes this coin unique, how to identify it, what very fine condition really means, and most importantly, what it's worth in today's auction market. So let's get started. The Washington Quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since it was first introduced in 1932, honoring George Washington, our first president. The 1974 quarter is part of the copper-nickel-clad series that began in 1965 after the end of silver coinage for circulation, one of the key features collectors look for in 1974 quarters is the large date variety. This variety is distinguished by noticeably bigger, bolder numerals in the date compared to the small date variant. The 4 and 7 especially stand out as being thicker and more prominent. It's a subtle but important detail that can add to the coin's appeal and value. This 1974 quarter also lacks a mint mark, which means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia quarters typically didn't carry a mint mark. This helps collectors identify the origin of the coin and can sometimes influence its desirability depending on mint production numbers, while earlier quarters were made of silver. By 1974, quarters were composed of copper-nickel-clad metal, a sandwich of copper core with nickel outer layers. Despite the lack of silver, these coins remain very collectible due to their history and the varieties they offer. When grading coins, very fine or VF condition means the coin shows moderate wear, especially on the higher points, but the major design details like Washington's hair strands and the eagle's feathers are still well-defined and sharp. It strikes a balance between circulated and higher-grade collectible coins. So, what is the 1974 Washington quarter? Large date without mint mark in very fine condition worth in today's auction market. Generally, these coins sell for about $35,000 or more, depending on eye appeal and exact grading. Since the 1974 copper-nickel quarters are common, the premium comes mainly from the large date, variety, and the coin's condition. For collectors interested in adding this coin to their collection, look for coins with clear, bold date varieties and minimal surface damage. Proper storage in acid-free holders and handling coins carefully can preserve their condition and value. Consider getting your coin graded by professional services like PCGs or NGC, if you believe it to be in high collectible condition. In conclusion, the 1974 Washington quarter, large date without mint mark and very fine condition, is a nice collectible for anyone interested in U.S. quarters. While it may not be rare or extremely valuable, it offers interesting variety and history to your collection. Next up, we're taking a detailed look at an interesting piece, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar. Featuring the large date variety and the Denver mint mark, commonly known as the D. We'll explore what makes this coin special, discuss its condition, and reveal its current value in today's auction market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or new to coin collecting, this video is packed with useful information. Let's dive in. The Washington quarter, first minted in 1932, remains one of the most iconic American coins. By 1982, quarters were minted primarily in copper-nickel-clad metal, replacing the earlier silver composition that ended in 1964. Although no longer silver, these coins still hold significant collector interest, especially specific varieties. Like the large date variety is characterized by noticeably bigger date digits compared to the regular small date. On the 1982 quarter, this difference can be seen clearly when comparing the size and spacing of the numerals in the date. This subtle variation is important for collectors looking for specific types and varieties within a date year. The D Mint mark tells us that this quarter was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's primary facilities. Denver quarters from this period are common, but combined with a large date variety, it becomes a more interesting collectible when we say a coin is in good condition. We refer to a grade where the coin shows clear signs of circulation, wear, but all the main details remain identifiable. On this quarter, you'll notice some smoothing on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. But the date, mint mark, and major design elements are intact and legibles. What can you expect this coin to fetch in today's market? A 1982 Washington quarter large date with D mint mark in good condition typically sells between $100 to $400 at auction. While not particularly rare, the large date variety adds a small premium over regular dates, especially if the coin has decent eye appeal collectors focusing on variety sets or Denver minted quarters often look for these large date examples too. complete their collections, keeping demand steady. For collectors, it's always wise to protect your coins by storing them in non-PVC holders and keeping them out of direct sunlight and humidity. If you have a large date quarter that looks attractive, consider getting it professionally graded to potentially increase its market value. Next up, the 1985 Washington Quarter Dollar, featuring the large date variety and the Denver D-Mint mark. We'll take a deep dive into its features, what the fine condition means for collectors, and most importantly, its value in today's auction market. Let's get started. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1932. The 1985 quarter continues the legacy. Minted in copper nickel clad after the silver era ended in 1964, while not silver. It remains a favorite among collectors due to its design, history, and interesting varieties like the large date. The large date variety refers to the size and style of the date numerals on the obverse of the coin. In 1985, the large date variety is characterized by bigger, more prominent digits compared to the small date. Collectors appreciate these varieties because they add depth and rarity to their collections. This coin proudly bears the D-Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Coins from Denver often have subtle differences in strike and toning, making them particularly interesting for collectors seeking variety and completeness. Coin graded fine condition shows moderate wear on the high points, but all major design elements remain visible. On this 1985 quarter, you'll notice that Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers are worn but still discernible. The coin retains its overall appeal and detail, making it a solid choice for collectors who want quality without the price tag of higher grades, though no longer silver. The 1985 quarter features a durable copper core clad in nickel. The obverse showcases George Washington's profile, while the reverse displays the iconic bald eagle with outspread wings, symbols of American heritage. In today's auction market, a 1985 Washington Quarter large date with D-Mint mark in fine condition typically sells between $30,000. While not rare, it remains a sought-after piece for collectors focusing on date and mint mark varieties. If you're looking to collect Washington quarters, consider building sets by date, mint mark, and variety. Maintaining your coins in good condition with proper storage will protect your investment. Professional grading can also enhance value, especially for higher grade specimens. Next up, the 1965 Washington Quarter Dollar, featuring the large date variety and no mint mark. We'll dive into what makes this coin unique, its condition grading as good, and its current value in the auction market. Let's get started. The year 1965 was a turning point in U.S. coinage. This was the first year that mints stopped producing quarters with 90% silver content. Instead, the composition shifted to a copper-nickel clad, marking the end of the classic silver quarter era that began in 1932. The large date variety on the T65 quarter is defined by the size of the date numerals on the coin's obverse. In this case, the numbers are larger and more prominent than in the small date variety. This detail might seem minor, but it's crucial for collectors who seek to identify and complete specialized sets. Noticeably, this coin lacks a mint mark. In 1965, quarters without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This absence helps collectors determine where their coins were minted, an essential factor when evaluating rarity and provenance. A good condition coin shows significant wear. On this 1965 quarter, details such as Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse are worn down, but the overall design is still identifiable. Good is a lower grade, but still important for those starting their collections or hunting for affordable examples. The 1965 quarter is composed of a copper core clad with nickel on both sides, a change from the previous silver quarters. The obverse features George Washington's classic profile, while the reverse showcases the iconic bald eagle with outstretched wings, a timeless symbol of American strength and freedom. In today's auction market, a 1965 Washington quarter large date without mint mark in good condition typically sells between 25 cents to about $1.10. The value is modest due to its copper-nickel composition and wear, but it remains a valuable piece for date and variety collectors. You're starting out in coin collecting or expanding your Washington quarter set. Coins like the 1965 large date without mint mark offer affordable entry points. Proper storage. In acid-free holders and avoiding cleaning your coins preserves their value. For coins in higher grades, professional grading can boost market uphill to sum up. The 1965 Washington quarter large date without mint mark in good condition is a piece rich in history and collecting potential. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coin collecting insights. Got questions or your own coin stories? Share them in the comments below. We love hearing from you.